Private law, also known as civil law, is the relationship between citizen and other citizens, which means this is the type of law which consists of action taken by one individual against individual. Private law can be divided into subcategories of law including contract law, tort law, family law, company law, and more. The person who filed the action is known as the plaintiff, however, the person who is defending his or her action known as the defendant. For instance, in family law, with regards to a domestic violence between Siti and Ali, let's say Siti is the one who is filing for the action. So the case will be Siti versus Ali, whereby Siti is the plaintiff while Ali is the defendant.
Public law is a legal philosophy that governs the interaction between person, citizen, and businesses and the state. According to this idea, constitutional law, administrative law, and criminal law are all subsets of public law. This approach contradicting the concept of constitutional law, which requires all law and hence subdivision of a constitution to be explicitly enabled. In many circumstances, the difference between public and private law is marred by law that control private interaction while being passed through legislative passage. In certain circumstances, these public regulations are referred to as law of public order since private persons do not have the authority to warrant and any effect to do so in way as contradicting to public policy.
Hi everyone, I'm Teck Guan. So next I'll explain the difference between public law and private law. The first point is about the subdivision of law. Private law covers three subdivisions which are constitutional, administrative, and criminal laws. Constitutional considers the relationship between the state and the individuals and between the different branches of the state. Administrative laws regulate the bureaucratic managerial procedures and define the power of administrative agency. And then criminal laws involve the state imposing sanctions for defined crimes. On the other hand, private law covers the law of obligations and the law of torts, which is defined as, firstly, the law of obligations organize and regulates legal relations between individuals under contract. Secondly, the law of torts address and remedies issues for civil wrongs which are not arising from any contractual obligations.
Hi everyone, I'm Ban Nian. So next I will explain the difference between public law and private law. The first point is about the aims. In public law, aims to protect the public interest. Meanwhile, in private law, seems to protect only private interests. The second difference is section. In public law, penal sections are more severe. For example, sections exacted for criminal activity include fines, imprisonment, or death. Meanwhile, for private law, sections usually include the payment of damage by the defendant to the plaintiff. Sometimes injunction or specific performance are granted. The third difference between public law and private law is the affected party. In public law, the main party involved are the individual and the state. Meanwhile, for the private law, the main party involved are the private entities or organizations acting in the private capacity. So next, I will pass to the next presenter, Kallvin.
Moving on to the fourth difference, which is the responsibility. In public law, it is responsible for regulating a harmonious relation between the citizen and the state. Meanwhile, in private law, it is responsible for regulating the activities between two or more private entities in just one and fair manner. The last difference, governing area. In public law, it is to ensure the public interest of the general population. Meanwhile, for private law, it is to secure the private interest and freedom of the individual in the community. Overall, these two laws have their own definition, identity, and usage. As for conclusion, public law defines the power and obligation of the state and establish the right and duty of the relation between the individuals and the government. Meanwhile, for the private law, it is to categorize the rights and the obligation of the people and the private bodies in the relationship among themselves. So from us, thank you.